So, what I think about Emmanuel Ocho and Joy Taylor? Well, it really is it any different than basically uh Willie Brown and Kamala Harris? Really? I mean, think about it. Joy Taylor's kind of like Kamala in a way. You know about Willie Brown? You know, people always got this thing about the changes in the business and everything, but it's the same thing. You don't get something without something in return. It's the same thing, you know. Now, will Joy Taylor be like a Kamala Harris and run for presidency or have a career like that? I don't know. I don't think Emmanuel Ocho is actually gonna turn to Willie Brown. He over articulates on first. He was a linebacker and he seems like he got hooked up for reasons I don't know if he was actually the most qualified, but he overtalks, when he articulates. He played football, but he's just kind of like one of those guys that seems so Joe random. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I look at Emmanuel Ocho kind of like I looked at how um Kim Kardashian when she married Chris Humphries. It was just so random that a guy had been around so long that even if he was on the team or whatnot, you just didn't really stand out. So this is kind of like perplexing, but it's kind of like okay. But anyway, what do I think? But it ain't the first, you know. And see, this is the reality. People use whatever they gotta use to get that bag. You 304 and you got to go, you know. Maybe they don't let you do OnlyFans part time on the job. Some do. I don't know. But really, you know, Manuel Ocho and Joy Taylor, they're grown folks. They doing grown folks thing. What's the big thing? I know for a fact that Skip was probably she was used as eye candy as a mediator on the show. And then of course Colin Hurd was using her as eye candy on his show, and he was really trying to be the candy cane man. And then of course Jason Whitlock had me in stitches with the peanut butter skin. I cracked up. I laughed so hard. I don't think she was necessarily would have gave Jason Whitlock much play. But then again, you never know. Because hey, it's like, hey, if that meant to get to where you got to get, it's not the first. It won't be the last. People like this assumption that we on equal playing field when we talk about racial and we talk about gender and stuff. We're not. The finances is night and day. Um, and if you're a black woman, you really gotta really be great at your craft or have to something extra because you're just not gonna get those kind of open doors.